Hi everyone, we're back in the craft room and I'm going to be doing another coaster craft. Well, technically this one I'm not going to be using as a coaster. It's going to be a different way to have a picture. And the picture that I'm using is my mother and father's wedding photo. And what I've done is I have printed this out on laser transparency paper. And if you have a laser printer, you can do that, or you can always do it on copy paper. Take it to a copy store and have them put it on transparency paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. First I want to put a thin layer of easy cast resin onto the bottom, and I've already pre-mixed mine, so I'm just going to, and this whole thing is going to be pretty thin, but I'm going to just pour a layer in and just let it sit for 12 hours. And then I'm going to apply the transparency paper photograph. So I'm just going to spread it around. I just want it to kind of level out. The first layer of resin has hardened, and I've trimmed out the picture of my mom and dad. So all I'm going to do is I'm taking my Mod Podge, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm not worried about this smearing or any bubbles or any dark spots coming because of the resin, but I'm more fearful of if I pour the resin that it's going to trap some bubbles underneath this transparency film, and then that wouldn't look very good. So I'm going to put the Mod Podge all the way around on here. And I really want to be careful not to get any fingerprints onto the picture. So I'm going to drop it in there. And then I'm going to take a clean, soft rag, or like this is an old t-shirt, and I'm just going to press it on there. And this will prevent me from getting any fingerprints on there. So you want to make sure you squish out the bubbles. So when you have that all adhered, then go ahead and do another layer of Mod Podge over. And that just hopefully will seal everything so that the resin won't get trapped underneath anything, and it hopefully will prevent any bubbles from occurring. And then you're going to set that aside to dry. And like I said, let it dry completely before you move on to the next pour of resin. I'm back to do the final pour of the resin on top of my parents' wedding photo. And the Mod Podge did take a while to dry. And I've actually let it sit for about 5 days, but that's just because I ran out of time to finish it. But probably within a day or two. It's just that the Mod Podge is under the transparency film, so it does take a little bit longer to dry. So just make sure it's completely dry before you do end up pouring it. It wouldn't take 5 days. That's just what happened in my case. So I have the Easy Cast resin already mixed, and I'm just going to pour it right over the top. And then we'll just let it spread and let it go as we always do, and then we will get rid of the bubbles, and then I'll be back to unmold it tomorrow morning. I'm back to finish up the photo project, the resin photo project, and I'm going to unmold it. And then I'm going to just trim all of this excess off. So here it is, and you can use this as a coaster. You can make coasters out of this. I went very thin on this one, and you can certainly go very thin on the coasters anyway. But I went very thin on this one, and because I wanted to hang it, and I wanted it to have a little bit of a different look. I had this frame, which is not very attractive, and I painted it with just spray paint. I just spray painted it real easy, no big deal. And what I'm wanting to do with this is I'm going to be drilling a hole right in the middle. And I'll clean that up a little bit, and then I'll dab it with a little clear nail polish, and it'll shine it right back up. But this now gives me the chance to take a little ribbon. And I thought this would be fun for maybe Valentine's Day or an anniversary. You could do this as a wedding gift, certainly. And then you take a nice red ribbon, and you could do this in a black frame or whatever color you want. It's kind of a different way to display a photo. Okay, and then you just kind of measure it, snip off the excess ribbon. And you could tie it and you can have a little ribbon on top if you want. I don't really want to do that, so I'm just going to snip it and then tape off any excess on the back. But this is a fun way to display some photos, you know, a little bit of a different look. And you can lean it up, you can hang it, or you can lean it up maybe on a mantle or something like that. But I hope you like it. Hope you give it a try. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and you'll find the directions for this and all my other crafts at www.craftclutch.com, and we will see you next time. Happy crafting. Thanks for watching.